Live and in color from Dallas Love Field, it's Runway DFW, the new YouTube channel dedicated to bringing you live action from the 31st busiest airport in the United States. Well, good afternoon. My name is Walt Zwerko, and yes, we are here at Dallas Love Field on Friday, April 1st, 2022. We're at the top of Parking Garage C, and we have a rather panoramic view of the airport, something we don't get over at DFW from our vantage point over at DFW Founders Plaza. So looky here, we can see all these planes. Look, here's an old Southwest livery, or I guess a former Southwest livery, with the name on the tail. And so we get to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gates, and here comes a plane. Our first arrival, or is this a takeoff? No, this looks like a takeoff, I'm going to say. Well, I could be wrong. Well, I got to get my cords sorted here. Well, there's only one runway open here, which makes things interesting. One runway for takeoffs and for landings. And I'm sorry, but I haven't had a chance to look at your comments yet. So as soon as this one pulls off, we've got that one at the end of the runway ready to take off. And I hate to give you a skewed image. A lot of business jets. This airport is very close to downtown Dallas. That's an interesting livery. Almost looks like it's one color on one side and another color on the other side. And that was JSX coming in from Houston in Embraer 145 LR. I am told by a source that we're not having good reception here. My executive producer tells me that the signal has improved somewhat, I hope. This is a wheels up aircraft. It's headed to, oh no, I guess that's not it. Or is it? Yeah, that's it. Came in from Naples, Florida, and just arrived after a 3.5-hour flight. So there you can see, wheels up on the back tail there. All right. Oh, you know what that is. You see what's on the tail there? This is the home of Wrestlemania this weekend. And that is apparently linked to that organization based upon the decoration on the tail. So there you go. Wrestlemania for you guys. Okay, back to the end of the runway, where we have, it's like this is the one that's going to Amarillo in Texas. The one in the background is going to Amarillo. It used to be, when I moved to Dallas many years ago, that Love Field was restricted as far as where you could go. You could only travel to the 4 states that bordered Texas. And that was an effort to discourage airlines from operating out of Southwest or out of Dallas Love Field and shift over to DFW Airport. Southwest said, not so much. We're happy here. And so they made a very fine business, being an airport very close to downtown Dallas. You can tell I'm a little discombobulated here because I didn't do any test runs here. I just said, I'm going to come out. I saw on a Facebook page that's dedicated to local plane spotters, somebody wrote in and shared some pictures and said, hey, I was dropping off somebody at Love Field, and I came up to the top of garage number C, or letter C, and I got these pictures, and the pictures look pretty cool. But again, we're not going to see any, I don't think we're going to see any cargo planes. I did see a Delta. There are only 2 other airlines that fly into this airport. One is Delta, and we saw a Delta, and I wish we could have captured it. Maybe it'll go out while we're here. It was a Delta 717, which I haven't seen, it's a Boeing 717. I haven't seen that aircraft in quite a while, which Delta does not fly into DFW with that. This is definitely something we don't get to see at DFW from our position. We don't get to see any of the gate activity. Unless you count UPS, which we do get to see a lot of there. There's some of the work going on the west side. So yeah, if you want to land here, we're overlooking the only runway that's available. Clue you in as to where this one's going in a minute. Beautiful day here at Love Field. It's my thermometer, I'm trying to keep it in the shade, it says 80 degrees. It feels cooler than that, I think it is. This is coming in from Orlando. Yikes. Sorry, but my hotspot blew over in the wind, and I panicked because I was afraid it was going to go over the edge. There's another older livery Southwest with the airline brand on the tail instead of on the fuselage. Our friend Chuck Tolsma says there's a park by the lake on the approach and planes fly right over your head, kind of like the hamburger place at LAX. Yeah, that's Bachman Lake Park, if I'm not incorrect there. I've been there to watch planes, but never to do any filming. We definitely don't see this many business jets at DFW. And again, if you're just joining us, we're at Dallas Love Field today for our first foray. Here's one of these old liveries, and I don't know if you can tell, the paint job looks kind of faded. There's definitely kind of a matte finish as opposed to the jets that are kind of glossy and shiny with the newer insignia. And you're probably wondering, where's the skyline of Dallas? Because we are a lot closer to Dallas. We can see the skyline of Dallas from Dallas-Fort Worth Airport from our position. But I'm going to swing all the way around here. Unfortunately, most of the Dallas skyline is obscured by the parking garage. But that's it down there. We're just a few miles from there. I was hoping we'd get a little better view of it from here, from our position, but not to be. But here is the rooftop of parking lot C. Let's zoom in over here to, what is it? Tristar Aviation? I can't read it. Maybe you can. Or Tristar Aviation. I don't know what that is. Well, there's an interesting aircraft. Can you identify it? It's got 4 engines, and they're not jets. Let me know in the comments if you have any idea what that is. That is a Hercules. And that is from, let me put you on there, Game Vader. Our good pal at Airline Videos Live, Kevin is wondering if our CPU is overheating. And I don't think so. We haven't been on the air very long, but let me see if I'm getting any complaints. There it is. You know that Sid Squad has an IKEA in the background, and we have a Sam's Club. I think our signal issues are more involved with, or our video, the problem seems to be with our connection as opposed to our gear at this end. We don't plan on having a very long stream today, probably about 90 minutes. Or maybe less if we just go off the air entirely, I don't know. Such a nice day for plane spotting. I hate to have it mucked up by technical problems, but I guess that's to be expected when you try something a little different, as we are on April Fool's Day. That's flight 29 coming in from Savannah in Georgia after a 2.5-hour flight from there. So anyway, if you like Southwest Airlines and you like Boeing 737 aircraft, this is the place to be. We don't see any Southwest aircraft at DFW, the airline Southwest, which is based here in Dallas, just to the west of where we are. They've never served DFW Airport. In fact, I remember when I was working in Dallas at the TV station WFAA, there was kind of a minor, it became a notable event when a Southwest plane landed at DFW for reasons of, I can't remember what it was, probably weather, or I don't think it was a problem with the aircraft. I think it was just there was a weather event which kept it from landing at Love Field, and so it diverted to DFW. And the question is, are all Southwest Boeing? Yeah, Southwest is all Boeing. It's all 737s. Now they have several different models of 737, but it's all 737. And that was a decision by management a long time ago to standardize their aircraft. So that they wouldn't have any problem with pilots. All their pilots could fly all their planes. So if they had an opening somewhere, they didn't have to determine if that pilot was rated for that aircraft. And this is flight 2553 coming in from beautiful downtown Burbank in California. So as we said earlier, there's only one runway here for takeoffs and landings. We've got a flight coming in. Not a Southwest jet, of course. Seem to have had a little buffeting there on the way down. So I guess the name of the game here is to get off the main runway as soon as you can so that other planes can either land or take off. This Gulfstream jet is off to Santa Barbara in California. There's a question in the chat from Gary. That wasn't it. Hold on. Do you think Southwest will ever go to another type of aircraft? I definitely haven't seen any inkling of that happening. Southwest seems to be pretty locked into the 737. It does what they need to do. Southwest can now fly from Dallas to anywhere. It was restricted to anywhere in the United States. It had been restricted to the 4 adjoining states under the Wright Amendment until a few years ago. I have that on my note cards here, actually. What year that was. Going through my note cards now. So 2014 was the year the Wright Amendment was allowed to expire. The Wright Amendment was that rule that kept the Southwest limited, or any airline from Dallas Love Field, limited to the 4 adjoining states. Now you could fly further than that. Oh, look at that. There's our Delta 717. Well, that's going to be, I don't know, the highlight of today? That's a 20-year-old aircraft dating back to March 2002. And of course, that's the design that Boeing inherited from the DC-9 and the MD-11, the twin engine in the back. But while Delta flies into DFW, they do not fly this aircraft, so that is a little treat for us. Chuck wants to know, what garage is this? This is Garage C. I think it's the newest one, and it's not a bad place to watch aircraft. Saz likes Delta. And here goes the 717. And didn't list a destination on flight radar. So if you're a fan of T-tails, there you go. It goes right up, doesn't it? It's not fooling around. Okay, here's our first special livery of the day. That's kind of wild. Very nice Dallas police officer who was just checking on things here, making sure that nothing was going awry. And wow, now what is that? It's like United We Stand. Oh, is that the seal of California? It's got bears on it. So we've seen a 717 Delta. We now see this special livery pulling up to the gate. And earlier we showed you the World Wrestling Federation. Well, I guess, do they call it that anymore? No, it's WWE, World Wrestling Entertainment, I think it is now. On Runway DFW at Dallas Love Field. Yeah, for those of you who missed it earlier, our view of the World Wrestling Entertainment plane, there it is, and that's here because I heard on the radio, I don't really know anything about it happening, but I heard on the radio coming in that it's Wrestlemania in Dallas this weekend, or I think it's at the American, well, I'm not sure if it's at, I can't remember if it's at AT&T Stadium in Arlington or if it's at the arena in downtown Dallas, the AT&T Center. I mean I don't know, the American Airlines Center is in downtown Dallas. Not a wrestling fan. I have a wrestling story. When I was in college, my roommate did some part-time work for the local station that did wrestling events. And so it was one of these local wrestling shows that were very popular back in the, I want to say, 70s. So he let me know that watch. He asked, and then we went to a match together because we just did that for fun. Wrestlemania is at AT&T Stadium. That's in Arlington. So I've been corrected, or clarification has come in from the home office. And so anyway, my friend told me, now watch the announcer at ringside. When he takes his glasses off, the match will end. And so I watched, and sure enough, he took his glasses off. Then the match came to an almost immediate end within, 30 seconds or a minute. So that's my wrestling story. Now I'm sure it's all in the up and up. Some of these small planes don't show up on the radar, or small airplanes. I was going to show you this. It's right across from us. This is the old Braniff terminal. Now, you may have heard of Braniff. It was a pretty major airline until they went belly up. It was based in Dallas, and they built their own terminal, and that's it. And I think it was threatened with demolition at one point. But it appears as though it has some tenants now. They've redone it. There's FlexJet and TACAir or TAGAir. I can't read that. So yeah, so it's got a new purpose in life. But apparently it had it was very modern for the time. I was reading last night that it was the first terminal at this airport to have jetways. Everything else was, before that, it was all rolling up some stairs to the plane. So Braniff is gone, but not forgotten around here. I flew them many a time. With their flying colors livery. Braniff did move to DFW when that airport opened 48 years ago. And it was the major player at DFW until they went out of business, and then American Airlines saw the opportunity to take up the slack. There you can see, I don't know if you can see it, but just a lot of contrails in the sky today. Looks like they're playing tic-tac-toe up there. There it is. We have some action down at the far end of the runway with a flight to Salt Lake City. It's flight 803. Need I say it's Southwest Airlines. And there's the Sam's Club down there. And for those of you who are watching from overseas, it's kind of like the Costco version of Walmart. And there are some hangars over there. I remember once I was riding on the DART train to work, which goes right behind those airplanes there. And I saw a plane which looked different. I wasn't sure what it was, and so I took a picture of it and got the N number off of it, and it was a BAC One-Eleven. And apparently it was one of the last ones that was still flying. It's not there anymore. The last I heard of it, it had been acquired by a museum in, I think it was Kansas City. And I don't know what the status of it is, if it's still flying or not. I think the museum in Kansas City also had an L-1011 in its collection. These little planes are kind of hard to pick out. So for you N number aficionados, there's the one for that. It's a flex jet coming in from Palm Springs. A Bombardier Challenger 350. We're going to try to hang on here for another 10 minutes or so before I got to go back to work. It's kind of an experimental broadcast here from Dallas Love Field. Technically not successful, but I appreciate all of you who have joined us for this little experiment. This looks to be Flight 1835 on its way to Sacramento in the great state of California. Find this Navy plane on there. There it is. Not a very big one, is it? Looked like it needed about 200 feet to take off. What have we here? Oh, that's the Navy plane. says Navy right on it. Our chat room is agreeing that that's a P-8. That propeller plane was the Texan that took off prior to seeing this one land. Oh, there's something we usually don't see at DFW Airport. I did see that a German military plane came into DFW a couple days ago, or earlier this week anyway. There's some speculation that it might have had something to do with the purchase of US-made aircraft, some of which is built here in the US. Look at all those antennas on top of there. They can get all the satellite channels. Pulling up to a hangar on the other side of the runway. This plane taking off for Midway Airport in Chicago. This one's not on my radar, folks. You've been watching Runway DFW, the Dallas Love Field edition. Thanks for hanging out with us. We appreciate your likes and your subscriptions. And we'll try again tomorrow or Sunday from Dallas-Fort Worth Airport, our home. We'll see you then.